public administrator's office, which is the office here in New York City that's charged with making sure that the properties are turned over to the rightful owner or the person who was in the will or what have you. They seal it up, and then they go through these investigations to make sure this is the right person, this was the family member, or whoever, and that's what takes so long. It's crazy.
Properties are sealed all the time in New York City. By some estimates, 1,000 doors are nailed shut each year. Ron has waited as long as 9 months for permission to clean his site. During this time, a crime scene remains a potential hazard, and sometimes investigative teams contribute to this.
They just sort of throw these things around. I mean, and it's pretty sad, because here they are, they're using it for their own protection, and it could have been contaminated, and they just throw it out, and kids or animals or anybody can just touch the stuff, and you really don't know what's on it. And it really shouldn't be dealt with in that way. I don't know who found the foul odor, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know if it was a neighbor or whatever. I mean, it had to be pretty bad to smell it that far away. You can only imagine. You want to take a whiff?
It could still be months before Ron is allowed inside. For now, an open window helps clear out the odor. But the real concern should be the remaining body fluids and hazardous materials left behind.
What do? The people can call the health department and complain, saying we have all these body fluids and odors and things coming into our apartment or coming into the hallways or what have you, and they don't know what to tell them. The health department refers them from one office to another, or they say we can't help you or what have you, and I find that mind-boggling.
I loved my room. I loved it. I don't care nothing about it now, but since that happened, I really don't care about it. But when it was beautiful, this was my little spot. This is my little heaven right here. Until he died and ruined it.
The reason the New York City Health Department doesn't come in, number one, the agencies sort of work independently of each other. There's no common communication going on, if you will. The other problem is there's no local laws or state laws or federal laws mandating that they do that. So it's difficult to get any agency to respond.
This problem is not particular to New York City. Biocleaners throughout the country are facing closed doors. It's an industry in its infancy.
But I do have them.
With no laws or guidelines pertaining to crime scene cleanup, officials are left with just one criteria: the cheapest bid. Today, Ron is in the Brighton Beach section of Brooklyn to appraise a job. The government has taken possession of a deceased's home. Next of kin were never found.
If they can't find any, what happens is they take everything of value in there and they sell it off at auction, and they sell the property off at auction. But in these cases, they have to clean them out, and one would assume sanitize and disinfect them, but they really don't do that. They just get companies to come in and salvage all this stuff, broom sweep it out, and that's how they sell it.
It's a city contract. The lowest of 3 bids wins. The 2 other companies are neither trained in biohazardous waste removal nor aware of its health risks. Known as salvage companies, they have just one thing in mind: the deceased's belongings. Mounds of debris and garbage spread throughout several rooms. For a salvager, buried in this could be something to turn into profit.
There was trash probably 6-7 feet high in some areas. There were thousands and thousands of cockroaches, flea infestation, mice, dead cats. I mean, you can just imagine the health hazards. I mean, there had to be hundreds and hundreds of bags of garbage and trash.
Ron's quote reflects the cost of returning an environment to a proper sanitized state. His amount is 3 times higher than the lowest bidder. He doesn't get the job.
We've never won one of these bids because our costs are higher. We bid them what they really cost to do the job. We don't go out and try to take property that's in here and try to salvage it and sell it to someone else. That's just not I don't think it's an ethical thing to do.
But the trip was not in vain. Ron is trying to change government awareness. Each appearance is a statement that a real public health problem exists.
They've lived there like that. That's how it was. It didn't just deteriorate like that. All that stuff that's in there was there when these people were alive. It's pretty sad. I mean, it's sad to think people actually live like that. And, oh, I don't know. I mean, people don't realize what goes on next to them or below them or above them or whatever.